Thursday edition of lcpioneers.com Live, presented by PioStream, as we come to you Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. on Facebook Live, available lcpioneers.com/live, and archived on YouTube too, youtube.com/lcpios. You can see all of our past shows and have the opportunity to catch up, as now we are in week 10 of keeping you connected with student athletes, coaches, members of the Lewis and Clark College community, and alumni. We've been doing this since the last day of March and into the mid part of May. We appreciate you joining us wherever you may be. Hi there, I'm Ryan Goff. I am the play-by-play voice and director of athletic communications for Lewis and Clark, the Pioneers, based out of Portland, Oregon. We're an NCAA Division III institution competing in the Northwest Conference against teams from throughout Northwest Oregon and the state of Washington, and courtesy of the over 430 institutions nationwide with NCAA Division III, opportunities for our student athletes to compete wherever they can in the country. Also oversee study opportunities too through Lewis and Clark, our student athletes and students alike, a chance to explore the entire world. We certainly hope that you'll get in touch with us. You can in the comments below on Facebook Live. You can email us sports@lclark.edu. Perhaps there's someone you want to see on the show, or if you have a question for any of our guests or future guests, and then on Instagram and Twitter as well. That's at LC Pioneers. And we are excited, again, as the focus of the show looks to bring in everybody that's within athletics, but also the Lewis and Clark community at large. We're excited to have Thom Lehman join us, and he is the Assistant Director, Warehouse Manager for College Outdoors. And I can tell you that there are many, many students on our campus that have raved about College Outdoors, the impact that they have, everything from new student trips to throughout their entire 4 years at Lewis and Clark, and just opportunities to explore the Pacific Northwest. I mean, Lewis and Clark is a tremendous campus that is so close to downtown Portland, Oregon. We're the only Northwest Conference institution in a city of 500,000 or more, but then the mountains are an hour away. The coast is an hour away. It's one of my favorite parts out of Montana into Oregon that I love, because you have access to so many things plus population. It's really a cool mix. So we're excited to talk to Thom about what makes college outdoors impactful in terms of the student experience at Lewis and Clark. We'll bring him in shortly. I do invite you, after you're done watching our show today, to join us on Zoom with the Lewis and Clark community, the Ethnic Studies Forum, that will talk about everything that's been going on in our country, discuss the murder of George Floyd, police violence, possible ways to take action, and it's something that we invite the whole Lewis and Clark College community to. You can join us on Zoom, and right now in our Facebook Live comments, I'm copying the link to join that Zoom. It starts at noon, so we run right up until about noon for the Ethnic Studies Forum. It's an open forum. We hope that you'll join us. Again, that link being posted right now in our Facebook Live comments. And then certainly continue to get in touch with us via social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube primarily. The area where you can have your voice ideas heard, certainly, and specific to lcpioneers.com Live, we would love to be able to hear from you in terms of the way that you want to see this show shaped in the future. The kindness of everybody who's reached out and complimented all of our guests that have been on the show, and some of the ways that we have been able to keep you connected through the coronavirus pandemic since everyone went remote in mid-March. Has certainly been kind to reach out, but we would love to hear from you even more. So in our Facebook comments or any of our social media channels as well, we'll kind of shape the show around some of the things that you want to see, which I think is pretty exciting. But the number one thing that our goal is this idea of keeping you in contact with the Lewis and Clark College community, and bringing in some of our best guests that we can. And today I'm pretty excited because some of my favorite guests on the show have been from outside of athletics, because it gives us time to talk about the impact that the entire community has on the student experience at Lewis and Clark. And again, college outdoors has been huge. So let's bring in Thom Lehman. He's the assistant director and 13 years at Lewis and Clark College. Excited to bring him in on lcpioneers.com Live. Thom, I appreciate you taking the time. And already I can tell you that you're a leader in the clubhouse for possibly best background we've ever had on this show for sure, which I think comes with the idea of college outdoors and exploring the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Let's start with the idea of, you know, kind of college outdoors mission and philosophy. What is it about your department that you try to, live with in and out every single day?
Hey Ryan, thanks for having me on the show. Great to be here. Yes, my backdrop here is a bunch of RC kayaks. I'm out here just outside of our gear warehouse, and our gear warehouse is pretty amazing. And we can set you up for any trip that you join us on. And we've got the gear to outfit you, from the clothing to all the technical gear you might need on that trip. And yeah, we run about 100 trips every year. And it's open to the entire Lewis and Clark community. And most of these trips are student led. So, to answer your question, uh, our mission, uh, you know, my job is to help train current students to lead their peers on these outdoor trips every weekend of the academic year, and also in August, right before school starts, we have our big week-long new student trips.
Have an opportunity to get involved too in new student trips a lot of the times, because they might be in the winter or the spring, and a chance to get involved. But what I have heard is how long of an impact that experience can have in terms of making friends and getting to kind of get thrust right into your experience collegiately. When you describe new student trips, what are some of the things that you tell people about why they are impactful for the students?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, almost, I think about half of each incoming year, those students will sign up for these new student trips, and they really enjoy them. Again, these are student led trips, and it's a great way to start your collegiate career here at Lewis and Clark. People enjoy it because they are fun trips. I mean, we go all over the Northwest and do amazing things, adventures. We are backpacking, we're flat water kayaking, we're rafting, we are hiking, and this is the beginning of their collegiate career. And so they are anxious to meet other new students, and this is a great way to meet your fellow students. And it's what people really enjoy is that you're getting this core group. You're starting to build community right away, and so when you return to campus after these amazing trips, you've already got this little bit of community that you've bonded with while you've been out on these adventures for the week. So it really helps maybe ease some of the stress a little bit, and as well as yeah, anytime you're in the outdoors, you just feel good. It's just a healthy way to recreate. And so when folks show up here, they're psyched, and maybe they've gotten a lot of their questions answered while they've also been on this trip, because these are led by current students. And so they can explain to folks that sign up, like, hey, here's what you can expect for your next 4 years here at Lewis and Clark.
He's Thom Lehman, joining us on lcpioneers.com live, Assistant Director of College Outdoors for Lewis and Clark. And we talk about new student trips, and you described that these trips are led by students. What's kind of the life cycle of the opportunities for students to get involved long term with college outdoors? Let's say a first year student comes in, falls in love with that new student trip, and says, this is something I'm going to be involved with. What opportunities are available to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're really, our student leadership program is very robust. And just like you said, it starts with someone being inspired and saying, hey, I really had a great experience being led by a fellow student, and I want to get that experience. I want to develop my leadership skills. And that is the one of the big focuses of College Outdoors, is to take folks that are interested, take students that are interested in becoming leaders, and we work with those students to work up through the leader ladder, is what we call our leadership model at College Outdoors. So it starts with folks being interested, and then they can sign up. They submit a trip preference form and a little, like a short application form, and then they will help during the academic year on some of these trips. And as they work their way up the leader ladder, more responsibility and learning of more skills, everything from technical skills, so navigation, cooking skills, and travel skills, to interpersonal skills, communication, community building, things like that.
Well, and I mean, that's an amazing thing that you can provide to them. And it kind of seems like, they can go as far with it as they want to, but that opportunity is certainly there, which I think is kind of fun because that fits into that experiential liberal arts experience at Lewis and Clark. And it's got to be a place that you just truly love to come to work every day. I mean, you have 13 years at Lewis and Clark. You're originally from the East Coast. Describe your journey to Lewis and Clark, and why it's a place that you enjoy being at over a decade.
Yeah, absolutely. So I I went to school in Colorado, University of Colorado Boulder, and I had never been in the West until I visited the campus and called my folks and said, "All right, the decision is made. I fell in love with the mountains, and after going to school there, I became a raft guide and a ski patroller, and figured out that I wanted to work in the outdoors, and I I love working in the outdoors, and I like working with my hands. I like traveling in the wilderness, and I was just amazed when I could get paid for that passion. And and as I progressed with my skills in those arenas, I then worked for the National Outdoor Leadership School, also known as NOLS, and worked for them for a number of years before moving here to Portland. And shortly after moving here to Portland, I started working here with the outdoor program, and it's been great. It is everything I love about the outdoors right here on an amazing campus. Um, it's it kind of it feeds into my passion. Maybe that's not the right word, but I am passionate about working in the outdoors, so it's a great fit. But I love the community here at Lewis and Clark. It's like a little town, and so you get to collaborate with all these kinds of different departments. And then the students are fantastic, intelligent, inspiring, and I love working with them to help their leadership with their leadership development. And another little tidbit about the leader ladder that I forgot to mention in your previous question was uh, basically, you talked about the life cycle and of a leader. And yeah, it starts with being interested. You get more skills, things like backcountry medicine. We offer a couple different programs each year on campus, and driving skills, navigation skills, all these different training opportunities exist with College Outdoors. And ultimately, you decide how much you want to invest in your leadership development with College Outdoors, and you can take it as far as becoming a paid trip leader and then training your fellow students in the things that you learned early on.
Wow. I mean, that's, again, I think a really dynamic experience for sure. And I hear that passion. You use that word, you said might not be the right word, but I mean, you definitely are able to help convey exactly why this is a neat program and why you enjoy working with students. He's Thom Lehman joining us on lcpioneers.com live. And from the athletic side of thing, student athletes I know have participated in trips and been involved with college outdoors. Uh, any stories or ways that you've definitely seen student athletes getting involved with your program?
Absolutely. I'd say what pops into my brain right away is Nicole Godbout, who ran cross country, and she was also working on a trail crew uh, with Washington Trails Association. And so she had this passion for being an athlete and also this passion for the outdoors and passion for community. And so she got involved with college outdoors right away. And I think it was pretty busy for her between being an athlete and a full-time student and then working her way up the leader ladder. But she did it, and we've loved having her the past 4 years. She just graduated, and she's led countless trips all over the Pacific Northwest with us. And yeah, so that's the one that pops into my head right away. But there are certainly other athletes that have been involved in our leadership program, and then a ton more that have shown up just just to participate, on the odd weekend, because we offer about 3 to 5 trips every weekend of the academic year. So a lot of folks show up when their athletic schedule allows them, so that they can, maybe they don't have practice one weekend, they show up and they really want to check out rafting for a weekend. So lots of folks do that as well.
Well, and what I'm excited about now is you get a chance to get up and kind of take us on a tour of this beautiful warehouse that you have for college outdoors. So feel free to kind of help us see. I mean, you got the kayaks in the background, but what's the building look like? And we'll share some links, by the way, in our Facebook Live to of like the college outdoors website at lclark.edu, so you can figure out how to preview some of those trips that they offered in past years or upcoming years as well. What's this warehouse look like? Kind of give us the lay of the land, Thom.
Okay, I'll try to keep things steady here. We're outside here in the vehicle yard. And so this is your kind of your chariot for each trip is, some big 15 passenger van, such as this, with some big roof boxes. Is it all right if I flip the camera, or do I?
Yeah, no, yeah, go ahead. That'd be great.
Okay, great. So yeah, this is your typical ride into the backcountry. And tons of trailers. This trailer is full of stand-up paddle boards, and the gear warehouse is named Sequoia because we have these 2 massive sequoia trees outside. And moving in here, this is where all trips start and end. And like I said, we've got everything to outfit you. We've got all the tents. We've got all these backpacks in here for our backpack trips and for our day hikes, smaller backpacks. Up there, deflated, are all of our whitewater rafts. We primarily go out to the Deschutes River, which is on the east side of the Cascades. So it is a very different environment than Portland. So east side of the Cascades, very dry. It's where the desert begins in Oregon. These are all of our stoves, backcountry stoves. And these are all of our sleeping bags. And we have very high quality gear that we take great care of, so it lasts us many years. Sleeping pads.
And this is stuff that you don't use just for your organized trips, but students can also check out, correct?
We have a rental program, yes. Our main focus is on outfitting our trips. There is
Okay.
a rental program. It basically consists of things for simple backpack trips and and simple car camping trips. Most of the gear in this building is earmarked for our regular trips,
And
and that's how we're able.
what's a
Go
typical
ahead.
size of a trip that the number of students who might go on one?
Yeah, it's typically about 12 people. Um, a lot of that has to do with van size and also permit regulations. So when we work with the Forest Service, etc., uh, those are the those are the guidelines that we follow. So typically it's groups of 12. Sometimes we'll go out with a bigger group and split off into smaller groups to adhere to those permit regulations. These are all of our dry suits, keep you dry in the cold river and ocean environment. All of our paddling gear and all of our maps. And it's a ton of gear, and there's no way I could organize all of this without the help of all of the student staff that is part of College Outdoors. And this is our kitchen where we typically a trip will come in here bright and early on a Saturday or Sunday morning and cook up a good breakfast and a lunch to go, and then hit the road and either head to the coast or the mountains or the gorge or a river, forest, and that is the tour here. The but yes, our student staff, not only are they helping lead the trips, but they are helping here in the gear warehouse maintain the gear, organize it, check it out to students, and also we have a bunch of students that are helping out in.
All right, so back on lcpioneers.com live, looks like right at the tail end of Tom's appearance, we might have lost the connection, but it looks like most everybody was able to see everything up until that point. Again, youtube.com/lcpios. If for some reason you weren't able to see some of that because of the connection issues at the very end. We're going to go ahead and step away. We'll come back tomorrow. Owen Defner is scheduled to be our guest. He is a freshman or rising sophomore, I should say now, with Lewis and Clark. Men's cross country was absolutely an outstanding first year student for Coach Bro and his team, and helped that group kind of move up from last place at the 2018 conference championships to the 2019 championships, finishing third. So huge improvement. We'll talk to him about his first year and what he's looking forward to ahead at Lewis and Clark. And from here, we do invite you to join us for an open forum, ethnic studies hosting discussion over topics, the discussion of the murder of George Floyd, police violence, possible ways to take action as well. We put the Zoom link already in our comments on Facebook Live, and that starts here in just about 2 minutes. So until we talk to you again tomorrow, I'm Ryan Goff. Thanks for having fun with us today on lcpioneers.com live. Looking forward to move uh, ahead together and see how we can have an impact both with the show and beyond. And until we talk to you again tomorrow, we'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.